Greetings, Red, Real Talk 20, because they still won't let me put the dot there. So realtalk20.com. It's Friday. Really didn't want to do this update. Got some really bad news last night about my younger brother. And all I'm going to say is if you can just keep him in your prayers, awesome. Much appreciated. And I'm going to thank you in advance for that. But historically, just like all through time, tragedy seems, I'm not going to use tragedy. Bad news usually opens up your mind to the reality that you actually exist in. And with the bad news that I got about my brother, it was, it just came to be like, okay, this is the way the world works. Strangely enough, I had a subject line that I wanted to talk about before I got this news, and I wanted to actually bring that back into play. It's something my grandmother used to tell me, and I find how true she was about this time after time after time after time. Not everyone has your best interests in mind. And I'm going to be honest with you, don't fool yourself and think that everyone has your best interest in mind, because they don't. They don't. People, by default, for the most part, are very selfish and self-serving. And not all people, but, people that are not selfish and self-serving, they actually go against the rule. Strangely enough, when I got the news about my brother, I was really, really bummed out. I was really upset. And people that know me personally know, for the most part, I can keep things under control. I can keep things together. I can bring things so that I can continue to function and exist. But then, I guess, my grandmother tapped me on the shoulder and was like, Butchie, look at what's happening. And I found out firsthand that people really are crap. People really are crap. To be able to use a tragedy or bad news to actually use that as a bargaining chip to make oneself feel better, to make oneself feel like they're on top, I think that's really, and excuse my French, I think that's really shitty. But this is the way the world works, and this is the way that the universe, and in this case my grandmother, just brings to our attention, like, hey, listen, the world is not this pretty place that you think it is. It's filled with people that are just, I can't find a better word, just selfish. All they care about is themselves. It doesn't, with the bad news, and I'm quite sure my brother would feel the same way. I'm quite sure he would feel that, hey, listen, continue to do what you're doing. I'm going to get better. And I'm going to be right there by your side, to help you, get to the next level, because that's the way my brother thought. But I'm not going to lie. I'm really like, I don't know what to do. I really don't know how to, absorb this piece of news. I just, again, I think that's what blogs and video logs are all about. They're about transparency. I think people appreciate the transparency. People appreciate you sharing what's going on in their life. Yes, Real Talk 2.0 is a part of that sharing process. Real Talk 2.0 is about, sharing our feelings, but this is like super, super personal right now. This is super, super, super duper personal right now. And I'm a little bit, I'm still shaken up about it, but I'm more shaken up about the fact that what my grandmother said for years is basically true. And this is the state of the world that we're in, where people only are focused and concentrate on what's important to them and what their needs are, and screw the rest of the world. This is really a sick and sordid society that we live in, when someone can take a piece of bad news and say, hey, listen, I'm going to use that to my advantage. I'm going to use that as my bargaining chip. I'm going to put this on the table so that I'm winning. No matter how you feel, no matter what the news that you just got is making you feel, all I care about is myself. And I don't know. Will that change? Is this part of the whole pandemic way of thinking? Is this like the whole breakdown of having the internet and instant gratification where we just don't care anymore? We only care about ourselves? At the end of the day, that is truly real talk. Where do you fit? Do you fit in as, the exception to the rule? I mean, we talk a lot about, police brutality, and how the government treats people. And then we always say, well, not all cops are bad. Not all people in politics are bad. But, they always seem to be the exception to the rule where, for the most part, people are bad. People are really, really bad. I'm going to end this kind of soon because I really don't want to let too much of my emotions feel, because, like I said, I'm pretty shooken up. I'm pretty shooken up, and I think someone just removed the rose-colored glasses from my eyes to show me, hey, listen, wake the hell up. This is what it's really about. It's about each individual serving their purposes for their gains. It's sad. At this point, I just wish if that's the way that we have to coexist as human beings right now, for real, I just wish the world would end. I wish that the pandemic just take over, just wipe everything clean, and give us a fresh start. Because it's not only saddening, but it's sickening. It's sickening when someone can take something that they can see is basically hurting another person and use that to their advantage. This is not... I like to think that I'm the exception to the rule. I mean, only time will tell. Only my interactions with other people will be able to validate that statement. But at the same time, I strive to be a better person. I strive to be that person that can be counted on. I strive to be that person that will have, the people that's in my circle will have their best interests in mind. This has really been, I guess, a very transparent, to use the word again, 24 hours to see just to what extent people will use to step on another person's neck to make themselves stand taller. That's not being real. That's not real talk. That's being basically a piece of shit. But at the end of the day, I got to deal with what's going on in my life. I'm going to Monday through Friday updates still the same. I think my brother would want me to do that until he's able to be a part of this when he's back at being 100% But yeah, this is really, it's crazy. It's really crazy. But at the end of the day, you know how I feel. Love you guys. Keep my brother in your prayers. Peace.